that big Purdy you bought on alt, are you just going to sell it on alt? Who are you going to buy for baseball at the National?
Flying to Tampa today. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I like your stuff. I stumbled across your videos a couple months ago. I've been following, so you got some good stuff going.
If someone were to write a card to you, to Eric from whoever, do you think that a personalized autograph like that decreases the value of the card?
Welcome to the Eric Michael Show, where we talk about sports cards, sports, business, and all sorts of good stuff like that. And I am here to answer people's questions. We'll be putting the phone number in the chat here in just a little bit. But let's get this party started and talk about kind of what's going on in the sports world, what sports cards, in my opinion, I think are good buys. So if you are new to this show or new to hearing me speak, or maybe you're not, but the way to make money in sports cards, in my personal opinion, is to do this. So let me share my screen and share with you guys what I'm talking about. So let me share my screen. Okay. Boom. All right. Check this out. I want to show you guys a little something. So the way sports cards works is most players don't live up to expectations, right? It's just how sports goes. It's just how sports cards goes. So like if you take someone like, let's take someone like Jackson Holiday. Actually, I haven't looked at his stuff, so I don't really know if it's down or up, but it should be down. So let's see. In the past 90 days, you can see, let's go past 90 days, right? His Bowman Chrome base PSA 10 is down probably like, what was it? Like, I don't know, $50 about. And now it's like, oh yeah, it is down. Now it's like in the $30-ish range. So this card has dipped like 40% in value. Most young guys just don't live up to expectation. It's just how it goes, right? But if you look here, actually, let me show a better example. I'll show you an example of someone who I made money on, a baseball player. So check this out. So Jackson Churio, let's look at his Bowman Chrome autograph, purple. Nope, I just want the base. Just give me the base, this one. All right. Look at this. So if you bought his cards in the depth of the offseason, right, you could see we have the baseball season going on right here. Last year, he played bad in the beginning and started to pick it up towards the end. So you could see his stuff went up. It went up. It went up. And then when Pete Alonso hit a home run last year, my amazing Mets, it dipped down when in the offseason when he lost, right? So you could have bought his Bowman Chrome base for like $450, $460 in that range in December, in November. And look what happens as you get closer to the season. Boop. It pops back up. And now this card is up 20, 30, or probably more, probably like 30%, right? So just to give you an example from my own cards, like I bought a Bowman Chrome Jackson Churio orange autograph for $10,000 in the offseason over here. And I went ahead and auctioned it, and it auctioned for like $13,300, I think it was. I forget the exact number. Something like that. But that's how to make money in sports cards. So the same thing applies for football, right? So, I mean, I don't have to show you someone like Will Levis, but like if you take Will Levis, for example, right? Last year, his stuff was booming. I know it sounds crazy to say out loud, but his stuff was booming. Like his Silver Prism PSA 10 was like $230, right? And look what happens. The season starts. He starts playing like crap. I actually thought he was going to be a good quarterback, to be honest, but I guess not. And boom, his stuff just plummeted. And now look what it sells for, $20. How crazy is that? There's not many investments where you could lose almost all of it. But the point I'm trying to make is you don't want to hold guys, young guys, once the season begins. For me, just time and time again, it's been a recipe to lose money. So that's why I haven't done it in years, and it took me years to figure that out. So you want to sell before the season begins, right? Pretty simple. The question you have to ask yourself is, okay, if I'm speaking right now and it's in June, who is a good buy, right? Like who should I buy? And in my opinion, so football, we're getting kind of close to the beginning of the season where if you buy a card and get it graded, it may not come back in time. It'll probably be close, right? But now I'm transitioning my buying into basketball. I think so the problem with basketball is the new guys, so like the guys who got drafted last year, where their cards are now out, you could buy them, grade them, etc. They kind of suck, to be honest. There's not many like great guys. Like the big sale is Stefan Castle. So for that reason, like it's a little weird, but I think it's a great buy because just not a lot of people are buying this stuff. So like take for example, someone like Zach. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Zachariah Rishishair. I think that's how to pronounce his name, right? He's one of the rookies. He had an okay season, not crazy. But if you look at his stuff, there's so much stuff out there to buy and grade, right? So if you go to minimum price, let's do like $50. Let's do like auction, minimum of one bid. Let's see. It seems like there should be more than this. Maybe he's just a bad example. Let's type in like Prism SAR. And by the way, we're gonna be putting the phone number in the chat to call in. We'll be putting in all the chats, the YouTube chat, all that stuff. So don't worry, it's gonna be out there in a second. I just like to kind of get off the ground and kind of showing you guys like some cards to buy. This is an interesting card. Its corner's dinged up. Maybe let's type in like 2024 Prism. Let's see 2024 Prism. See what's ending. Jaden Daniels. I had a student make a crap ton of money on this same exact card. This purple Pulsar. You get one of those cards to grade, you're making good money. Let's see what else is out there. So like the football stuff, you're on the cusp. This stuff, if you could grade some of this Caitlin Clark stuff, you're making like this stuff sells for like $200 not graded, and as a 10, it's over $2,000. It's insane. I've never seen margins like that. It's kind of hard to grade, so like for good reason. It's you make a lot of money because like they just have a lot of surface problems and stuff. But you could do really well. Red Sparkle Jaden Daniels. Honestly, this card looks kind of good. It looks to be well centered. I know I said we're getting towards the end of buying football, but let's take a look here and see what this card's worth. Red Sparkle. And by the way, I've been losing all the auctions on here because I show all you guys when I'm bidding, and I'm convinced that Red Sparkle. I'm convinced that people just outbid me, which is okay. This card sells for about $1,000. There's an auction of $850, but these cards will range in what they sell for based on condition. So if the card's in crappy condition, it's going to sell for less. If it's in good condition, it's going to sell for more. This card's at $535 with 8 hours left. Let's give this one a rip. Let's go copy that. Let's go to Easy Sniper. So if you don't know what Easy Sniper is, let's just move this stuff over here. If you don't know what Easy Sniper is, this is an app that kind of lets you bid on cards in the last second. So like I would bid $979 on this card. Don't really want to pay more than $1,000. I think it's in pretty good condition. Like this is a great card to buy. Bo Nix, no huddle variations. These cards aren't too tough to grade. This card actually looks pretty freaking clean. This looks really good. Let's see. There's nothing down here in the description. Let's see. I always like to look at the guys' other cards and see, do they grade cards or not? You're putting the phone number in the chat? Okay, cool. So let's take a look at a card like this. So Bo Nix, no huddle variation. Let's look this up. Bo Nix, no huddle variation. Prism. This card is a 10. Does like 270. Raw did 100. PSA 860. So raw, it's like $100. PSA 10's like 270. I kind of thought this card would be a little cheaper, like $60-$70. I'm gonna pass on that one. I just don't like the price. This is a nice card. This corner is whiting. It's probably not going to grade well. Yeah, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is an interesting buy. Jaden Daniels silver. I've never had much luck with grading silvers, even though I had students that have crushed it. You just never know with the surface. Like the surface on them is always just hit or miss. See, Blue Sparkle. Hitman rips. So someone ripped this out of a case or a box or something like that and got pretty lucky. Ooh, that corner looks pretty clean. This one looks this one looks kind of messed up. Paul Skeens Gold Prism. This is something I usually would not buy because it it's not licensed. So Panini doesn't own the rights to the MLB stuff. So because of that, that's why you don't see the Pirates logo anywhere. Probably I don't even know if I could put the Pirates name on there. That's why it just says Pittsburgh. But it's a nice card, honestly. I don't know. I kind of like that. An interesting card. Jalen Hurts Gold Sparkle. I'm not gonna buy it. I try to stick to buying. Rookies. Caitlin Clark. Oh wow, this looks cool. This is through Consignment, which always worries me. You could see this is a consignment shop, but this card looks pretty good. I'm gonna stay away. I just don't like buying from Consignment. I never do well. People kind of dump their crappier cards to Consignment. Oh, whoops, I skipped a page. People kind of dump their crappier cards to Consignment. Oh, this is a nice card. Blue Sparkle. Mitch's box breaks. That corner's white. Gonna be no good. That's a sick card though. I love stuff like that. See what this is. Optic Flex rated rookie, number to 149. Just stay away. Not my vibe. So much stuff out here. Nikola Topic. OKC. They should win the finals, I think. Aaron Rodgers. Who's buying this card? I guess Aaron Rodgers collectors. Let's start answering some questions in the chat. I know there's probably some questions in the chat. Took your advice and went to a card show. Made my first sale and made around $800 on 3 PSA 10s. Thank you for all the advice. Okay, here's the question. Well, Levi, you're very welcome. Glad you actually followed what I said. Turns out I know what I'm talking about just a little bit. What do you do when you buy a card online and when you receive it, it's not as centered as it looked in the pictures. So if it's not, unless they're photoshopping it, it should be fine. Thanks, Steve, for congratulating me on 20K. But yeah, it should be fine. Not fine, but it should look like it does in the picture. So if it doesn't, it's probably an issue on your end on looking at cards. But most even when I buy cards, right? If I buy 10 cards, maybe 8 or 9 out of 10 actually go off for grading. Usually 1 or 2 out of 10. There's something wrong with it. I didn't see, right? At the end of the day, it's looking at pictures online, so it's never perfect. But, it's just a numbers game. You have to keep, just buying one card, getting your hopes up, probably not the best strategy. You want to be buying volume. I always tell people the best way to do it is buying one card every business day. So 5 cards a week. That's what I like to tell people. It's a good way to make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month. Hopefully that makes sense. But back to card buying. And if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to call into the number at this number, 813-618-2075. We're throwing it in the chat as well. It used to be under me, but it looks weird. So I'm not going to do that anymore. But yeah, feel free to call in. See what else we got. I wonder if there's any. You know what sometimes I like to do? I like to look at BGS 9s or SGC 9.5s and just see, is there anything that is is there anything that is ending that I think could possibly be crossed over to a PSA 10? I usually only like to do this with higher end cards. So Upper Deck Portfolio McDavid. This is a hard card to grade. Yeah, you can see the corners messed up. But this is something I haven't done in a while, but I've made pretty good money on it. So Me Too, 8.5 corners, Pokemon. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see. Huh. This is my type of card. All right, so it has 9.5 centering, 9.5 corners, 9 edges, 9 surface. So it's very close to grading at 9.5, but it's not. Let's look what this card sells for. So this is X Dragon. Yeah, it actually says PSA regrade potential. It's funny. Actually, let's just look at market movers. So this card graded a Beckett. Okay, so check this out. This is fucking Let me just make sure this is the right card. It's from 2000. Oh wow, it's from 2003. Holy crap. Okay, so this card graded a BGS 9. So let's just compare all these. So this is risky because the card is from 2003. All right, so like just keep that in mind. All right, so we look in the past year. Up here, you could see in that light blue, a PSA 10 did 1350. So the card's probably worth 1300. It may be worth more now that Pokemon's booming. And recently, as of late, PSA 9, last one did 435. The last Beckett 9 did 293. So even if I send this card into PSA and it doesn't grade a 10, I should be okay. But let's see what this card is at. Get rid of these. I'm not going to buy these. This is it. I guess this guy lives in the United Kingdom, so it's at 239 pounds, so it's $325. So I would bid. So if a PSA 9 is 400, I bid up to $400 USD. Let me just do that conversion. 400 to Great Britain pounds, right? 297 pounds. Let's see here. You know what? If I bid, well, let me just see something. If I bid, am I bidding in? Okay, so I'm bidding in pounds. But if I do this on Easy Sniper, I wonder if it's pounds or USD. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it would be in pounds, right? Because it's bidding on eBay. So like, I kind of want this card. I kind of like the way this looks. I'm just gonna bid here. I'm just gonna bid. So I'll bid 400 USD. See what happens. That's an interesting card. That is a fascinating card. You could do this with a lot of times with Beckett 9s. So like, this has a messed up surface. So that's probably gonna be no good. But like, what you want to do is look for like 9.5 centering, 9.5 corners, and the 9 others. Like you need 9.5 corners to make this strategy work because PSA cares a lot about corners. That's why I just click off anything that just has messed up corners. Jeremy Lin, wow. Jeremy Lin, he was a sensation. So I don't think PSA grades these cards anymore. I don't think they grade Mike Trout rookies. I could be wrong. Okay. I don't think they grade them. The messed up corners. So a lot of these Beckett cards, a lot of people send it to Beckett because it has messed up corners. But so you could always do something like this. You could buy a True Gem Beckett, cross it over. This is a green Pulsar number to 20. So this is a big boy card. But like if you look here, sometimes there's margins. So like green Pulsar, Shea, probably not the best time to be buying Shea because this stuff's so hot. But so PSA 10 it did 7,000. And there's no recent sales. But if a PSA 10 is 7,000 to 2,400, I'm just not gonna. If it wasn't in the finals about to win, I would buy it. But it's just too hot because I just don't see the upside. Oh, these cards were super short printed back in the day. These cards, so like these cards from 2019. I don't know if you could see this, but you see that rookie card logo? How it's like off, like where it's supposed to be. Since it's off where it's supposed to be, that's why this card got bad centering. These cards were really hard to grade. They were like these weird short prints from 2019. They used to sell for bonkers money. Not anymore, but they used to. LeBron, I don't really like buying cards that old. Oh, Fabi, I think he just moved the camera a little bit. The dog. I have two dogs below me, and one of them moved the camera. Funny. Oh, let's see what else. There's so much stuff. Malik Neighbors, Chet Holmgren. Yeah, I just don't want to buy. I just don't want to buy like anything that's you know that's hot and they're about to win the finals, or I think they're gonna win the finals. Charizard. No. Let's look at this is another interesting. By the way, if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to call in at that number being put in the chat. Look at SGC 9.5s. And you could also do this with grading companies that like are not as reputable, like Arena Club or any of these other companies. You can buy it and just cross it over to PSA, because a PSA 10 is worth so much more. Look at SGC 10s actually. Let's look at SGC 10s. Caitlin Clark, Polestar, Bo Nix Silver Prism. Something a little bit higher end I usually like to go for if I'm crossing it over. Something at least a few $100s, so there's like room to make money. Like, this is interesting. JJ McCarthy. Like, I wonder why send this card to SGC, not PSA. Let's see. 5-star grading, SGC. Pink McCarthy Auto. See what this sells for. Pink McCarthy Prism Auto. So a SGC 9.5 to 324. PSA 10, are there any? So SGC 10, it's 667. Yeah, so there's not enough room. A PSA 10, it's 985. I want to at least double my money. I wonder, you could look at Arena Club. Arena Club is like a new grading company that I guess is getting kind of popular, but you could just buy these cards and so this is the problem. People don't really auction them because they know they sell for less. Kind of the issue. You could look at all these different types of cards and look like what's possible to, potentially cross over. And you don't have to look at just auctions. I just look at auctions because I'm lazy and I want to like show you guys like live buying. But you don't have to look at just auctions. This is a stick card. The coloring makes it look stick, but all the gold. But let's look at Prism. Or you know what? I'm kind of on the Cade Cunningham bandwagon as well. I think you're not going to buy stuff like raw. It's going to be hard to find, but buying stuff already graded, like you could, make some decent money. Let's see here. Cade Cunningham 2021 gold. And the callers have been light. Let's answer some questions in the chat. Are you guys shy? Shy to call? There used to be like the last podcast or so. There's just endless callers, and now there's just like nothing. Let's see. I purchased a Donruss Optic Premier number to $300. What's the best consignment to send all 301 cards to? So none. It's just gonna sell for what it sells for. To be honest, there's no like best consignment company. The most reliable, I would say, is like PC Sports Cards or DC Sports. Probably go there. They get a lot of eyeballs, but that's kind of like the great thing about sports cards and the bad thing. There's no like best place to send something. Like, it's just they all, like, whether you're a nobody or whether everybody knows you, like a green Prism Caitlin Clark card, it's just gonna sell for what it sells for. Like, that's it. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. And on my question, meaning they sent a different card than pictured in listing. Oh, okay. So you bought a card and they sent you a different one that was not pictured in the listing. That's what you mean. Yeah. Okay. So like they're not allowed to do that. So you can get a refund from eBay. I would call eBay and ask them what to do. They will send you their money back, and you could return it, because obviously it's probably illegal. It's almost no different than theft, right? So yeah. Let's see. Another question. You throw in the number in the chat. Sorry, I have a dog walking by the camera. About crossovers. I have a 1971 top Steve Garvey rookie and an SGC 8. Should I cross over to PSA? So the answer is probably no, because SGC and PSA with vintage stuff, they sell for about the same. However, with modern stuff, PSA crushes really anything. So for that reason, probably not. Like, and also, I think that once again, I need to see the card. If I think it's undergraded, sure, but because like it's an older card, PSA is like reluctant because they want to control the pop report. They're reluctant to give high grades. So like, without seeing the card, I would say no. To be honest with you, I would say no. Let's continue. Let's look at only alt. I usually like to look at only alt to buy higher end cards. I think I bid on like a Wembenyama Blue Ice recently. Let's see any basketball stuff. If there's any basketball stuff available. Let's see, Jalen Brunson. I looked at this a few days ago. I'm just seeing if maybe something new popped up. Jalen Williams, that's a good time. I used to have an orange. Jalen Williams, of course, sold that way long ago, way cheap. Shea Gill, like I would love to buy this card and send it to PSA, but it's just going to sell for so high because it's about to win the final, so I'd rather not. But like if he wasn't, but also that's part of the reason everyone's selling all these cards. Zion Williamson, is he a good buy? He's pretty, he's low right now. Nobody wants Zion Williamson. Anthony Edwards, BGS 7. Yikes. Damn, what happened to these corners? I guess they're all just messed up. Yeah. Oh, this one's like botched. The 6 sounds kind of rough though. That sounds like a rough subgrade. Let's see. What else do we have here? Jimmy Yaquez, Gold Prism. That's not bad. Not my vibe though. Paulo Banchero. I am looking to buy some Banchero, but it is not too easy to come by. Blue Ice Cade Cunningham. I bid on this. I love this card. I think this is a good idea to buy. I think it sells for around $1,800. It ends in, when does it end? One day. So hopefully I will win it. I wonder, let's flip this around. Let's look at like Banchero. Or let's actually look at Cunningham, Prism, PSA 10, 2021. Let's go to newly listed. Let's not look at auctions for once. Like minimum. Let's look at some higher end stuff. Let's look at the minimum, like $1,000. Oh, whoops. Minimum $1,000. Blue Prism. This, I know this card sells for way less. So actually, let's look. Maybe I'm wrong. Cade Blue Prism at a $199, 2021. The guy's not too far off. There's one sale. One sale of $2,500 recently, but all the others are like $1,700, $1,800. So I doubt that guy's gonna say yes to my offer. My offer would be like $1,700, $1,800. Red Prism at a $299. This seems fairly priced. Let's take a look. Red Prism Cade at a $299, 2021. Wow, it only sells for $875. That's it. Yeah, once again, the last sale just spiked because of the playoffs. Maybe. I wonder what this guy actually wants. If I could offer $500 and get away with it. By the way, the address is like a consignment shop where I send my cards to. Because I'm not home a lot of the time. Red Choice at a 88. See what this sells for. Red Choice. And the reason I like Cade is because it's like, I think the Pistons are going to generate a lot of hype in the next few months, and I think his stuff's going to go up. Nah, there's no way. This guy's all okay. There's only one sale, $400. Like this was a year ago. So I was going to say, are you guys too shy to call in? Usually there's a lot of callers, but last time and this time, there's not a lot. Paulo Banchero, Blue Prism. I think Banchero is a pretty safe buy just for buying his cards. Great already, holding them. PSA 10, So the last one did 1,400, 1,100 auction. That looked like this guy's. People are just overpriced. They just want. Everyone always wants like just a little bit more than what it's worth. They always want to feel like they got a deal. Let's offer $1,000 to get the bidding going here. Find my offer. Nope. Probably just wants too much. Like there's a lot of great cards out here, but the card sells for like $1,200 to $1,400, and these people, in my opinion, want just a little bit too much. All right, we got an offer in. You guys probably not going to accept my offer. Like this is like an easy card. You get this for like $1,100, $1,200. Like, there's no guarantees in life, but should be able to do well. Nope. Blue Prism is. Why is there just a lot of them? Let's just offer $1,000 on all of them and see if we could come up with anything. Nope. So we only got one offer through. $1,000. Gold Prism Monopoly. So this is Monopoly. This is not regular Prism. It sells for much less. So don't get confused. The Blue Prism, Purple Prism. I bid on a Gold Contenders auto, but it just went way too high. So I decided to not bid on it. This is like a week or two ago. PSA 9 White Sparkle. No. I like to buy like the really good stuff. If I'm buying like stuff already graded, like the really liquid stuff, the really desirable stuff. All right. Let's look at some Wemby. Flip this around. 2023 Prism Wembenyama. Look at auctions of like $100. I think Wembenyama. So his stuff is kind of hard to grade because it's a year old. But if you could find stuff to grade, I think like he's a great buy to grade. Like I think it's money. Let's say Silver Prism, Beckett 9.5. I'm curious what this sells for. Prism Silver 9.5 sells for $450. See what Raw does. Raw does. PSA 10 is about $700. Raw does $300. Interesting. You could actually make some money if you bought that as a Beckett 9.5 and sent it in for grading. Not too out of the question. What else do we have here? Let's see. Purple Ice. Maybe people are just on vacation because it's, summer. Because for the summer, we're having tons and tons of callers. White Refractor. So these guys actually live in China. So the odds they grade cards are not high. Let's see. That's something wrong with the card? Hold on. Let me look at another one and compare it. There's like weird. See those weird like caller? All right, let it rip. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live. White Refractors. These guys actually live. You hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? You're live.
Hi. I had a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What's the best way to?
Hey, real quick, I think your laptop or computer's playing in the background. Can you lower the sound a little bit?
Yeah, I just muted it right now.
Okay, cool. All right, go. What's your name?
My name is Thomas.
Thomas, what's up, Thomas? How can I help?
Wanted to get your opinion on sending cards to grade, like without touching them.
Okay.
So like buying them from eBay, and do you think like sending them to like Diamond Elite cards straight from when you buy them from eBay to them without touching it, is that a good idea?
What's your goal? Like how much money you want to make per month? Like how much time do you have to do this?
Um, I want to make like $500-$600 a month
Okay. And where do you live in the country?
in Nevada.
Nevada. So okay, so like doing that, I would. Does Diamond Elite Cards prep the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I would do it. I would do it. You make, in my experience from teaching a bunch of people, you make more money because things go faster doing it yourself. And because you're doing it yourself, you actually see the cards in person, and you like get a very good idea for what's going to grade and what won't grade. So when you actually look at cards on eBay, you have a better understanding. So in my experience, the people that do really well do it all themselves. Not saying you can't. And there's tons of people that make money without ever touching the cards. But if are you newer to buying and selling sports cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've been watching your content for like 3 months, 6
nice.
months, so I'm fairly new.
Cool. So yeah, I would, if it was me, I would do it yourself first. Get the train rolling, make some money. You have an understanding, and then outsource it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Cool. No problem. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Just got a PSA 10 Bo Nix blue glitter that I'm waiting to get through quality. First one sold for $581. Me and another have it listed for $700. Should I sell now or hold for a few weeks? Sell now. I don't think it's going to go up a ton. So usually the way sports cards works is like the newer guys, like Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, they were hyped, then they come down, and then like maybe they go up a little bit. But the guys where you want to hold, where like they have potential to like go up a decent amount, are the guys that like are low and nobody's on. So like Kyler Murray in the offseason, or Sam Darnold, or Jordan Love, any of these guys, right? So that's kind of what you want to be doing. Like, just to show you an example. Oh, let me just pull this up. Show you an example of what I'm talking about in real time. Okay. Let me share my screen here and show you what the hell I'm actually talking about. All right. So like someone that could go up a lot in value is like someone like Jordan Love, right? His stuff, if you look last year in the beginning of the season, his contenders auto was like almost $2,000, right? Then he started playing, didn't have as good of his year, and now this card's like $1,000. This is low. Nobody's on it. No one sees it as an opportunity. This is cards that have potential to go up a lot in value. Me personally, I like the idea of buying Sam Darnold. So I bought a few different Sam Darnold cards. But Sam Darnold, let's see. He's another guy. So these guys aren't going to pop up yet, but he's another guy, right? This card was $500 as his contender's autograph, and now it dipped down to $250, right? Because no one's on it. Or like someone who I liked a lot that started to go up in value, I've been saying this for months, is like CJ Stroud. Like, he doesn't have contenders, but like we look at his silver prism auto. So like CJ Stroud, right, was super hot last year, right? He was like the Jaden Daniels. The card was like $1,000. Caller. Let it rip. I got to prioritize the callers. You got Eric, you're live.
Hey, Eric, this is the professor from California.
The professor, isn't there a famous YouTube guy named the professor, right? Basketball guy?
Oh, you mean N1? Nah, I'm a card professor.
Okay, card professor. Yeah, gotcha. How can I help?
So my goal is to make a side income.
Nice.
And now how much? I don't even know. I'm just trying to make and I'm trying to do it with a little bit of time. Okay, so that's my goal. Now, 2 questions. First question, that Purdy, that big Purdy you bought on alt, are you just going to sell it on alt?
Am I going to sell it on alt?
Yeah.
No. 10% chance. So I purchased it for what did I pay? You probably know better than me. $9,000 or something like that.
I think so.
Okay. My first preference, like what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it to the National Card Show, and I'd like to move it into either baseball that is low or basketball that's low. So like my preferred way to do it, and you never know. You can get an all cash offer. No one might buy it, but like would be like to get like $6 or $7 grand in cash and another $6 or $7 grand in cards I actually want. So cards to be graded, cards like that are already graded, guys that I think are low, maybe. That's my first, and it'll probably it's not that hard to move that card at the National Card Show. It'll be pretty easy, to be honest with you. But that's my first preference. Sometimes like I'll buy the card on alt, hold it on alt, and just sell it on alt. But
like the Churio, right? You did that with the orange Churio, right?
Yeah. To be like really straight up and frank with you,
please do.
It's out of like so like I don't buy and sell sports cards nearly as much anymore as you can imagine because I have this whole like business to operate now. So it was out of pure like not having time and laziness. Like back in like I guess my heyday, you could say I would never auction a card like that on a site like that. Like that card sold for what it sell for like 13,000 something, and I netted 12,800 after fees. I paid $10,000 for it like 3 or 4 months prior. But I would like that card if I put time into it and like went on Facebook, went to a few card shows because I don't have the time to go to card shows anymore. But if I did, I would get 15 grand for that card easy, like trading cash. I would never, ever like I just do it like out of like the show content, like stay in the game. But like I would never auction a big card like that. There's no need. Like you can do way better with like a half cash, half trade deal. And then like the only time I would ever auction a big card like that is if I'm running out of time. It's 2 weeks before the season. I can't move it for some reason. But if you have a big card that you can't move, you probably just bought the wrong card in the first place anyways. Like people always say like, hey, like I can't sell my cards. Well, you just have stuff that sucks. You have stuff that nobody wants. So
got it.
But like,
and cracked ice, very desirable, right?
Yeah, which is why like I could like you'll literally see me probably do this. I'm gonna so that's one of probably the higher end cards. I'm gonna move at the National Card Show. I'm probably literally gonna walk around with it in my pocket, go up to a few dealers, and within like 3 to 5 dealers I go up to, do some sort of trade, cash deal or something. I don't know what the deal will be. But yeah, I would not like. I might sell it on alt just because I lack time in my life. But if I had more time, I would never sell it through auction unless it's last resort.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of the National,
Yep.
That leads to my second question. I'm a long time listener, first time caller.
Nice.
A lot of things are like, okay, buy at the beginning of the off season.
Yep.
Sell at the end of the off season. But when you're at the National, you're looking for baseball, and that's prime season. So
yeah.
I'm confused. Help me out, please.
Yeah. So I would buy baseball guys. So I do this in football a lot, but I'll do it in baseball sometimes too. And I do not do this in basketball. I will buy guys that have dipped and are low. So for example, like a good example of this is like Bryce Young last year. His Silver Prism PSA 10 in the beginning was like $250, and then it dipped down to like $70 or something like that. And I bought a few. I bought like a few, but not like a lot. I was just messing around with it, and I bought him in like maybe it was like week 10, and it was so low, and I knew he was going to continue to be the starter. It's like, okay, maybe he'll play well and it'll go up, or I'll just hold it into the offseason because I'm going to buy it anyways, and it's already really low. The downside's very low. So. And then I got lucky. It went up like it went up a lot because he started playing well. But like, so I wouldn't do it if you're newer to sports cards, but you could go in and buy guys that have dipped. Does that make sense? So like, yeah. And also like when I'm trading, so like think about this too. Like if I have a Brock Purdy card, that's $9,000 that I paid for, and I'm going and trading it into $14,000 worth of cards, I'm playing with house money. I have some room for risk, right? Because I'm into those cards for much cheaper. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like if I had to like draw out a perfect scenario, right? I would trade that Brock Purdy card for $7,000 in cash and a $7,000 Victor Wembanyama PSA 10. Prism really liquid card. Is it going to happen like that? Probably not. But that if I had to play out the scenario perfectly, yeah.
Okay, another follow-up question.
Yeah, go for it.
So then, This past season, I did something similar where I bought Brock Purdy maybe November. Niners weren't doing well and injuries, etc. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And so I've actually done pretty good on those Brock Purdy's from November until now. I started doing the same thing with Stroud, and then not quite. And I thought maybe that that mid-season lull would kind of happen. I didn't buy on Bryce Young, so I'm feeling a little bit of pain on the Stroud. But then, what are you looking for, or who rather, for baseball? I mean, I know we're not in July yet, and it's not the National, but who might you be looking for, or should I call back in 6 weeks and say, who are you going to buy for baseball at the National?
Yes, young guys who are gonna go to the playoffs. So like Jackson Merrill, he's pretty like steady. Young guys who are gonna go to the playoffs. Or like a perfect example of this is last year Jackson Churio. Like the Brewers were pretty good; they made the playoffs, but his stuff dipped like crazy because he wasn't having a good year. And the Brewers were a good team, so like the little bit of anything would generate hype and excitement for him. So like I have to look into it, but like guys who are having subpar years and their cards are low, who are young, but their teams are going to the playoffs.
Got it. And the playoff picture will be a little bit more clear then.
Yeah. So like if I had to think, like I can't think off the top of my head. I don't know. You have to look at the MLB standings, but like Jason Dominguez. Let me see what he could be someone who. Let me see what his value's at. I haven't looked at his cards in a hot minute. So Jason Dominguez, his Bowman Chrome PSA 10. Yeah, it's down. It's down a lot. So like, is he injured or he's playing right now? I'm not sure. Jason Dominguez, is he? Yeah, he's up. Yeah, so his average is 230. You know, he's kind of subpar year, but this happens with a lot of players. So like Jason Dominguez would be a perfect example of someone who I think, in my opinion, is a good buy. But like I wouldn't do that if you're newer to sports cards. There's no need to do that. Like just buy guys in the offseason. Like this is getting too like fancy. You can lose too much money if you do it wrong. But Jason Dominguez is a good buy. Like I'm looking here, like before the season, his Bowman Chrome PSA 10 was like 600 plus, and now it's 325. So that's a perfect example. If he gets
sounds like a dip to me.
Yeah, and like, but I would just stick with like buying guys in the offseason. Like, but basically the name of the game is just, you know, as you've seen me say a million times, just right, buy when other people aren't buying, sell when everyone wants to buy them. Yeah, so it's just like something is only an opportunity when no one else sees it as an opportunity, right? So, but yeah, that would be an example of someone.
Eric, thank you very much.
For sure. Thank you for listening for a long time. I'm looking forward to you calling in the future.
All right, thanks. Bye.
All right, bye. Another one? This is Nick. I told the Nick to call in. Oh.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Hey, Eric. This is Joe.
What's up,
I've called before, and I listen to the show all the time.
Nice.
Quick question. I'll make it quick. It has to do with PSA 9. You get a graded card back. It's a PSA 9. And I know you've kind of preached that when you send cards in, you kind of want the PSA 9 so you could break even or lose a little bit.
Yep.
And a lot of times the raw card, that price is the same as a PSA 9 in a lot of cases.
Yep.
So would you, I don't know, me as a buyer, I would almost rather buy a raw card than a PSA 9. So if I get it back as a PSA 9, is there any value as far as increasing your buyer pool by cracking that 9 and just selling it raw? Or would you just keep it a PSA 9?
I would just keep it a PSA 9 because the
only reason why I'm asking is because if I see a PSA 9, that's set in stone. But if I am a buyer and it's a raw card, at least there's a chance, if I think it's in good condition, for me to sell it or to send it in as a PSA 10, and get some value there as a buyer.
Yeah. So, you're thinking from a flipper's point of view. Most people, not, I don't know the exact math, but I would imagine over half of people aren't in this game to flip. They're in to buy their favorite players, collect, etc. A collector of a player would rather have a graded card, but me personally, so like, let's be like very straightforward, right? Like if you crack a PSA 9 and you're selling a raw, like your intention is you think it'll be easier to sell because a flipper will come along and think it's possible to grade. They'll buy it, instead of never grading themselves, it'll get a 9, right? So you're kind of deceiving people. And if you want to be in this game in the long term, not the right move. I've been there. Like we've all done it, to be honest. We've all cracked cards because we think that raw cards are more more desirable because to the flipper. But I wouldn't, just for that reason, because if it sells for the same, it's not like you're losing any money. And all you're doing is just you're kind of slowly hurting your reputation. You never like those people that, you say to someone, hey, has this card been graded? Or, hey, how's the condition? And they say to you, like, judge for yourself. Right? Because that's what you would say to someone. If someone asked you, hey, has this card been graded? I mean, I would tell them the truth, but a lot of people don't. And they'll just say, like, judge it for yourself. The card is as pictured, right? When someone says that, it's just their way of saying this card's in shit condition.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Awesome. I appreciate that. And then the other question I have as far as PSA 9s is there any, like, I think you've mentioned this before too, as far as cracking a PSA 9 and sending it to a different grading company, if that 10 is more valuable?
I would not. I gotta, it's all card specific, but I would not. So if you have a PSA 9, right, the card probably has a small mark on it somewhere, corner, surface, wherever. And then the only way that card's going to increase value, if you send it to Beckett and it gets a Beckett 9.5, it's not going to go up much. Like Beckett's kind of on the downswing. And if you send it to SGC, you could hope to get a 10. But the getting an SGC 10 is like almost as hard as getting a PSA 10. So it's probably just going to get like an SGC 9.5. And then you're just wasting time. Like I would rather take the card, sell it, cut your losses, lose a little bit, make a little bit, whatever. And then just buy something else with the money. I personally would not. It's card dependent, of course. But I would.
Yeah. And then you're playing that game of chasing a 10, and paying like 2 or 3 fees that go along with it and stuff like that.
I've been there. Quick funny story. You ever see the oh man, I made this video a long time ago. The most amount of money I ever lost on a card.
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, this is a good story for you. All right. You know how did you do sports cars during the pandemic?
I did not. I'm about 1.5 years in.
Okay. So do you know how it boomed during the pandemic? Like it went crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it went crazy during the pandemic. This is like maybe late 21 or 22. It was like at the peak of the boom. And I'm not stupid. I knew like what goes up must come down. Right. But someone presented to me a Topps Chrome refractor, LeBron James, Beckett 9. It had all 9.5 subgrades and an 8.5 surface. I looked at the card and it looked clean. And the card is worth about 50 grand. But a PSA 10 was 200 grand. And a PSA 9 was like 65 grand. Right. So if I crack this card, I send it to PSA and it gets a 9. Okay. I make a few $1,000. And if it gets a 10, I make, 150 grand. Right. Great deal. Right. So I buy the card and I believe this person actually photoshopped the card, to be honest. He photoshopped, there was a surface ding that I could not see in the pictures. I think he may have deceived me. But I wired this guy $55,000 for the card, knowing I had to get rid of it quick. I had to get rid of it in like a month or so or 2 months because it was going to start to go down. But sent it to PSA, gets an 8. And I'm like, fuck. I cannot sell this card. I'm going to lose like 15, 20 grand. Right? Then I send it to Beckett, 8.5. And now, and grading wasn't as fast, so I'm waiting a month or 2 months. And then I sent it, I sent it back to Beckett again, and it got at Beckett 9 with worse subgrades. Took a few months for this to happen, maybe like 4 or 5 month process. I spent like $1,000 each time to grade the card. The card went down a lot. Like I kind of knew what was going to happen. Long story short, I ended up selling it for 25 grand. So I was into the card for like 57, 58 total. Sold it for 25 grand. That was.
Well, that story answered my question.
Yeah. So, I mean,
just that worth it.
Yeah, you're playing with fire buying cards for 50 grand when they're really hot. I knew what I was doing. I mean, I'm lucky where I could afford to take a swing like that. And I have before and it's worked, but that time it did not work. So, yeah, quick story for you to scare you from making a mistake like I did.
I appreciate it. All right. Well, coolio. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for calling.
All right, take care.
All right, bye. Was there another caller? Let's see. We got a few questions. Flying to Tampa today. Any suggestions? Well, how old are you? How old are you, and are you single or not single? That is a big determining factor in what you should do. But and whether you have free time or not. So yeah, let me know if you're single, not single, and how much time you have and how many days you're here for. And I can give you an exact game plan as to what to do. By the way, we like I said, we prioritize the callers. So if you call in, you call into the number in the chat. Copy the number in the chat. You sure it's in the chat? You have to keep putting it in there so it populates, because I think newer people can't see the previous chat. There's another question. Nick, I asked you to call in, but you didn't. What are some recommended books besides $100 million leads? So what's your goal? So the best book that we make all of our employees read is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That is like the book, whether you have a business, whether you corporate America, whether you're 15 years old. In my opinion, that's the best book to read. It's timeless. It just will help you out so much. And then like if you're building a business, I would, so many. The first one I read was Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. That one was really, really good. It teaches you like client success and how to treat your customers and all that fun stuff. And then on the marketing side of things, Great Leads. It's like also a timeless book. There's another one that's actually kind of expensive called Breakthrough Advertising. That's a pretty famous book as well. And then on the sales side of things, right? Because there's marketing, sales, and then client success. So the best one for marketing would probably be Breakthrough Advertising. The best one for client success or product would be How to Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. And for sales, oh man, sales is a funny game. Oh man. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So the best book for building a sales team for me was Predictable Revenue. It was written by the guy who built the Salesforce sales team. But yeah, sales, I would just actually use YouTube videos, to be honest with you. Probably be better. We have a caller. Go for it. Calling him back. Jenna, I see your question. Feel free to call in at the number. Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Hey, what's going on, Eric? This is Jeremy from California. How you doing?
What's up, Jeremy? How you doing? How can I make your day better?
Good. I just recently got back into sports card like this year, and Otani actually got me back in the game. I haven't been back in the game since Kobe retired, so it's been fun. Long story short, so I got a couple questions. So I got a bunch of cards off of the PSA. Well, one of them just came back. It was a Caleb Williams Optic Orange out of 249. Came back a PSA 10.
Oh, nice. I've offered on a few of those cards, and I can't fucking get one.
I know,
but good for you.
What's funny is same thing. I offered a bunch, but I landed on this one and got it. So luckily, you got a PSA 10. It's a Pop 6. Nice. Looks like there's been no sales. So do you recommend like I put it up for auction, be the first PSA 10 sale, try to max it out, or hold it, get in the?
Nah, I wouldn't do that at first. What I would do is so if you want to determine what it's worth, all you have to do really is just one. So go on. I'll share my screen. It might be a little delayed for you, but I'll explain it to you as I'm doing it. So you go on eBay and just look at other guys from that same year, similar players, and look at the margin between their raw to PSA 10. So if you type in like 2024 optic at a 249 orange, PSA 10, and you go on eBay and you go to sold items, you can see there's no sales. Okay, so there's no sales of that. So next, what I would do is just look at other optic Caleb Williams PSA 10s, and let's see here. So that's optic preview. Yeah, there's just not a lot. It's a good card to grade because you'll make a lot of money on it. Okay, so I can't find any. Okay, a Rocket optic. That's a PSA 9. Shit. Okay, so we're going to expand this search. This is going to make sense in 1 second. Optic PSA 10. Let's just look at any player. So optic preview, optic. Where's a regular optic card? So an optic hollow Jaden Daniels, here's a good one. An optic blue hyper Jaden Daniels does $210. So this is just rough math here. But if it does $210, you want to see what the raw is worth. So the raw does do minimum price dollar. So the raw does like $36 to $40. So from $36 to $200, that's basically 5 times, right? So what'd you pay for your orange?
I think I'm all in like $359.
What'd you pay though before grading?
$359. Oh, yeah, what's that? I think I paid $315.
Yeah. So I would
like $40. Yeah.
I would say I would try to get a 5 times multiplier. There are better, like higher multipliers though with lower end cards. So realistically, this is just my like guess. If you auctioned it, it would auction for right around $1,000, somewhere around there. But I would definitely try to sell it first on Facebook or go to a card show or trade it. I think you can get closer to like 13 to 14 and maybe even 1,500 because it is such a low pop. And I think Caleb Williams is going to be soon generating a lot of excitement and hype because, man, that team is loaded. They got 2 good tight ends. They got 2 good receivers. They got a good running back. They have a good line now, Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would not auction it first. There's no need to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't need the money, so even if I hold it into for me, I'm on the West Coast, so the West Coast card shows in August. I can go there, I would do make the most amount of money.
I would do that, or if you're going to the national card show, bring it there. Yeah, that's actually something I might hold if you don't need the money.
Okay. My next question is, I went gambling. I hear you. I've been watching your videos. Going into breaks is gambling, and for sure, it's definitely games like the casino.
Yep, it's worse than the casino. Actually, it's definitely way worse. You get like none of your money back.
Oh, 100%. So, but I did get lucky. So I actually got crazy lucky. I hit a Contenders cracked ice rookie auto of JJ McCarthy out of 23.
You are a lucky guy.
Well, it gets better. The next day, within 24 hours, I went back in the same break and I hit a Contenders optic fresh off the line, JJ McCarthy Black Pulsar auto at an 8.
You're very lucky guy.
I'm dropping them off to PSA today. Doing the 5-day express, all that. Okay. What do you think hypothetically? They get 10s. They both look really good. What do you think those would go for? If they get 9s or 8s, like what do you think?
Yeah, so the McCarthy. Let me just look here. So I'm not talking out of my ass. So let me.
It's brand new. The card. Both these just came out like last week on the 11th. So like. Yeah, I saw raw of the cracked ice go for like 6,700. But other than that, I haven't seen any sales of either.
Let me just look here. Hold on. Let me share my screen and just show people what I'm looking at because I have no idea. But so I saw the McCarthy did one did 6,500 is what I see. Yeah. And let me just see if there's any other sales of any. Is McCarthy the only quarterback that's signed? I think
Penix has as well.
Oh yeah, Penix. Okay. Yeah. If they 10, you're asking me?
Yeah, like hypothetically. And where would be the best place to say? Because obviously those would be like high end, like maybe Golden or something, or same thing, go to a card show or.
Oh man. Okay. What would I do? Yeah, I would. The cracked ice, honestly, if it was me, oh man, what would I do with that? I'd probably give it one. I would get the card back from grading. Hopefully, it's the first 10. Try to sell it on, if there's a card show that those few days, within a few days of you getting it back or a week, go there or go. I like to sell cards on Facebook. I mean, I actually can't sell cards on Facebook anymore because there's a lot of people in the hobby that don't like me and people like spam the post. But I used to be able to post on Facebook and sell cards, and that's what I would do. And then if there's no bites, if there's no like $15,000 to $20,000 offers or like big trade offers, which you might get, I would rip it to golden right away. Like, so I wouldn't wait. That one I would not wait. If you're the first PSA 10, I would sell ASAP.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The other thing is, so for Facebook, I'm new to social media. My wife gives me a hard time. I'm like the last millennial on Facebook or Instagram.
How old are you?
37.
Wow, no social media.
None.
Wow.
I literally just joined like 2 weeks ago because I'm starting to get cards in and trying to flip. Nothing. Well, I got one now, but I just started like literally a week ago, 10 days ago.
Honestly, it's good for you. So it's funny. Like, quick story. Even though like my whole life is on social media, right? You see all this content. You probably get. Yeah. Do you get blasted with my content all the time?
Well, now that I'm on Instagram, I see you all the time.
Oh yeah. So like, if you looked at me, you'd be like, "Oh, this guy loves social media." I actually like have no like personal social media. I never go on and I never swipe. A rule when I was 16 years old. So you know what Snapchat is? I hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not that outdated. So my ex-girlfriend, the only girlfriend I ever had before the one I have now, wanted me to make a Snapchat. She made me a Snapchat, blah, blah, blah. And I just, I added all my friends, and I discovered I was, on in bed before going to bed. I was looking through everyone's story, just like anyone else would. And I was like, man, this is a waste of time. Like, why am I looking at what other people are doing? Who gives a shit, right? And from that moment on, I never looked at another story again. I was anti-social media. A year later, sports cards comes into the picture. Sports cards is obviously very prevalent on social media. You kind of need it. And I said to myself, what I'm going to do is, when I got to college, I was like, I'm going to take all the time people spend on social media and put it towards making money with sports cards. So all the time people would spend on like, scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, I'm going to spend that time scrolling on eBay or going to card shows. And it's worked out well for me. So you could use, like, social media has a bad rap because it's addictive. It is, for sure. Like, these companies make it addictive on purpose. They spend billions of dollars every year testing ways to make it more addictive. But if you could use it to make money and to be productive, it goes a long way. So I don't know where I'm going with that story, but yeah, similar to you, I'm pretty anti-social media, but I use it as I'm a producer of social media, not a consumer. I use it to make money. But continue.
Yeah, no, so my question that I had is, I'm like, I have zero interest in like social media now that I'm in it. I'm just in it to flip cars and try to maybe do some trades, all that stuff. But I've posted in some of the groups, and obviously I have no followers. So like, people I'm sure are skeptical, but there's like zero comments. I got one like on one of the things in the Facebook group, and I priced them reasonably. I even said, hey, try to build some connections. I'll pay the goods and service fee. I'll pay the shipping, all that.
What's your Facebook name? I'm going to look at your Facebook.
It's Cali Card Aces, ACES.
Cali Card is 2 words?
One word, all one word. Cali Card Aces. And my name is Jeremy Hale. Let's blast my name.
Cali Card Aces.
Yeah.
I don't see you. CALI Card Aces. One word.
Yeah. On Facebook or Instagram?
This is Instagram?
Both of them, they should be the same.
All right, let me look on Instagram because I have Cali Card Aces. Maybe I can't. Okay, Jeremy. Okay, now I see you. Yeah, this is people do deals with you. Like, you look legit. You gotta just start just make like go find cards from the past that you have or cards you have now and just blast them. Just like post a bunch of them. So because it does look a little scammy that you only have 3 posts. But I'm looking at this cracked ice card. Oh wow.
Yeah, those are the cards right there.
There's 2 cards. There's the cracked ice. Oh, this is the Pulsar?
Yeah, the second one.
Oh, that's Is that Optic? It's Optic Contenders. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought that was regular Optic.
Yeah.
I see. Wow, this is a nice card. If I was,
yeah, I hit them both within 24 hours of each other, which is insane.
Yeah, don't get the autograph graded on this card. It's not going to grade a 10.
No, I'm not doing it on either one.
Yeah, don't do it on either of them. Oh, very nice. Wow, if you weren't following my content and knew what to do, I would have offered to buy it from you.
Yeah, I like your stuff. I stumbled across your videos a couple months ago. I've been following, so you got some good stuff going.
Well, I
What's funny is, so back when I was in high school and even later with Kobe, I'm an LA guy, so I was on a very small scale buying cards and getting them graded and selling them. So, but now I'm trying to just do a full blown side hustle and do it at scale. So it's been fun.
Nice. I would okay, so you actually discovered us on YouTube. Have you ever watched my webinar, like the training, the step-by-step training?
No.
Yeah, if I were you, I'm not just saying this to like sell you, and you know how I sell a program behind this?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so like I would what will help you out a lot, so if you go somewhere in my YouTube description, you could click a link. You could opt in, give us your information. A coach will probably call you, but after you give us their information, there's a step-by-step, like 30-minute video breaking down the industry and taking step-by-step on how to make money with sports cards. I would definitely watch it. Yeah. Then at the end, there's a program, you can buy it if you want. If you don't want to, don't buy it. But that training will help you out a lot too. It's very step-by-step.
Yeah, it might be interesting for sure. I'm kind of figuring it out right now. You put a lot of this stuff out on the internet for free, which I love, which has been a lot of fun. The one thing I think is like fascinating is the card finder, though. Like, I think when I heard that in one of your, I was like, oh my God, that's probably next level.
You saw that on YouTube?
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, so those are like so what we do for our students, and like what you could do as well. So right, we have a whole like training program, right, for students, right? There's like videos, Facebook group, all that shit. But we have the same thing we have that whole recruiting agency in the Philippines. It's almost like a sports card school, and we teach them how to, like, what grading is, timing the market, blah blah blah, margins, all that stuff. We put them through a test. Once they pass that test, we then give them to students, and like these guys cost about $3 to $4 an hour, and you could literally like do nothing. And at the end of the day, they send you 10, 20, 30 cards, however many they found. And you just look through it. It takes like 10 minutes, costs you $12 for the day, let's say. And you just outsourced 4 hours of card finding. You're able to buy 2, 3, or 4 cards just from $12. It's pretty crazy.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely crazy. That's like next level for sure.
Yeah, if you want, like you could go to upwork.com, upwork.com. That's also in that training. And that's where you could find people overseas for like $3 to $4 an hour. But you have to vet them. A lot of people overseas have shitty internet. They're kind of like little finicky, and then you have to train them yourself, obviously. But if you want to find them, you can go there as well.
Okay. Well, man, that's all I had. I appreciate your time, and you're doing great stuff.
Thank you. Well, good luck with that, McCarthy. Hopefully it grades a PSA 10, man. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. The Black Pulsar, like I'm really confident on. The cracked ice, like it's contenders. It's like almost like still paper cardboard. I'm always skeptical on those, but the optic is like perfect.
Yep. Yeah. There's the contenders is a little off centered, a little bit. It's like 55-45, but yeah, I think it's like 50-50 from what I saw, whether it'll grade a 10 or not.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with the cracked ice one. Obviously, I'm praying to the card gods both get 10s, but
Yep, we'll see. I'm hoping. But if you let me know how it goes, call back in like next week and let me know how it goes.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm walking them into PSA today, so
awesome.
That's the beauty too for me is I'm in SoCal. I can walk in on Wednesdays, drop it off.
That is. You live near Santa Ana?
No, I'm like an hour outside of it, but it's easy drive.
Okay.
To save the shipping and do quantity and not have to worry about the hassle of the UPS.
Yep. Yeah, that's not bad. I used to send cards to Beckett. Like before, like Beckett used to be a little bit better than PSA before the pandemic, and I used to send cards to my buddy in Texas. he lived 2 hours away from the Beckett facility in Dallas, and he would every Friday drop them off, and it was crazy. It was like $20 for 1 day service. He would go drop them off in the morning, eat barbecue, come back later, have all our cards.
I know. That's sick.
Yeah.
I've been trying to like have fun with the guys. Like, hey, can I just come pick them back up so I don't have to worry about waiting for the shipping? But obviously they haven't budged.
Oh, they won't let you pick them up?
No, they have to ship them back.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really? They won't let you pick them up?
Yeah. No, I don't even understand why.
I had no idea. Wow, that's
you can drop them off, but you can't pick them up.
That's weird.
I don't think they have the manpower, to be honest. There's usually only 2-3 guys.
And they probably have some sort of like sorting facility. It would probably mess up the flow of things since 99.9% of things get shipped out.
Right.
But yeah. But cool. Let me run because I have like a bunch of other people in the queue. Let me know how it goes, Jeremy. Yeah, call back. Do a call back next week and let me know.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Later. Good luck. See ya. 3 others? 2 others. 2 others. By the way, all your questions in the chat, feel free to call.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Hey, man. Thanks for calling me back. It's Brennan here in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.
Brennan? You said Brennan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Brennan, yeah.
Nice. Ontario, Canada. Are you a Leafs fan?
Yeah. Obviously, man. Of course.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's heartbreaking.
It's every year, dude. It's the same thing. It's just like you just can't get over the hump. I'm a Rangers fan, so like a little bit better of luck. But yeah, like it's I feel bad. I actually like feel bad for the Leafs fans. It's like you get the game 6, you get the game 7.
Pain.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, man. And then Marchand goes, and now he's always been a killer for us, and now he's winning for the Panthers.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
He needs to be a Leaf.
It's brutal. Like it's crazy. Like I feel bad because like these guys. So I live in Florida and Tampa, and like the Panthers are in Sunrise, Florida, which is like kind of by Miami, like 3 hours south. And it's like these guys don't need a good hockey team. Like they have so much other shit going on. Like they got good weather. Like they barely knew what hockey was a few years ago before the Panthers started winning. And like now they're just like.
Well, they've been
Yeah, I mean they just got a great goalie, great team.
They've been dominant, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you about autographs, actually. So cards, I come from I was in the cards when I was younger, and then we had a fire and lost the whole collection. So I got into doing buy art and books and stuff, like that kind of stuff. And I buy some cards too. I'm more of a collector. I'm not like a flipper in it for making money.
Yeah.
But I see on a lot of sports cards now. Like there was that one guy that had that one prospect that signed a card for a kid that said no sell on it. Was it last week or the other week? And for example, on the Star Wars cards, I know Mark Hamill will sign a lot of stuff with personalized inscriptions on the card rather than just sign his name. Like may the force be with you or whatever.
Oh, no, that's
so. Okay. Do you think that if someone were to write a card to you, to Eric from whoever, do you think that a personalized autograph like that decreases the value of the card rather than just signing their name?
Yeah, don't do that.
Because
have them inscribed cards. So like, may the force be with you, or like, I don't know, like Wayne Gretzky writing on an autograph card, like a leader in all-time assists. I don't even know if he is, but like that stuff increases the value generally.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking. Or if it's made out to someone prominent, like to Wayne Gretzky from Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you could just tell. You could just tell them to write to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, there you go.
Just tell them your name's Michael Jordan, and then you'll just tell someone, hey, this is to the real Michael Jordan. No, don't do that, but that'd be funny.
No, I was kind of in the same boat as you. I was just wondering what you thought about that, and that's about it.
Cool. Well, hopefully the Leafs get it next year, man.
Yeah, man. And our Jays, we're looking good, but I think we need another piece here. But the Jays could have something.
Yeah, they could. They're having a solid year.
Yeah, man. But great content. Appreciate you taking my call, man.
Appreciate it. Good luck out there.
Bye. Thanks, man.
Let's see. Someone asked, "Is your program a one-time fee?" Yeah, it's one time for life. It's $1 million. No, it's not $1 million. It's $500,000. No, it's not. A lot cheaper than that.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What's
man,
up? What's your name?
I want to ask a question. Armando.
Armando. Cool. How can I help?
Yes, sir, from Texas. I'm calling because I have about 1,500 right now. I can start with. I can push it to like $2,000 to start trading cards. I want to make a side income. I have my own business.
Yeah.
But I eventually want to start. I kind of want to do this for a living. I want to trade and buy cards and do all that for a living. If I wait about 2 or 3 months, I can push it to $5,000. Would you say I wait and then start, or should I start now? Because I know the football season, basketball season is coming up, so I kind of want to get cards, send them get created, and then sell them.
Would you rather start making money sooner or later?
Well, yeah, sooner. But like I said, right now I got about $2,000.
That's enough money. Yeah, that's more than enough money. You want to I'd be buying cards in like the $50 to $150 range. Try to buy like 5 to 7 cards a week, and like you'll blow through your budget. Let's see, if you spend like $500 a week, yeah, you'll blow through your budget in a few weeks, and you have to wait a few weeks to get the cards back. But it's better than doing nothing. So yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would start now.
All right, should I stick with football or basketball since they're both coming up?
I would go with lower end basketball, Prism, colored stuff.
Lower end basketball?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, man. I just wanted to get your info on that.
Yeah. Start now. Yeah. Let me know how it's going. Right. You'll call in the future.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Is that it? Cool. Well, that's a wrap. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.